I'll call to order the September 6, 2023 Fishers Plan Commission. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call, please.
Here.
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 Here. We do have a quorum to conduct this evening's business. We have next the approval of the August 2nd, 2023 minutes. We have a motion by Kim,
Second.
second by Selena. All those in favor use the voting sign aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the motion carries. The next agenda item is case number RZ-23-3, Flat Fork PUD. We have Megan to present for the staff.
Good evening, Megan Vukasich, Director of Planning and Zoning. So for this first item, they are requesting a continuance. So the petitioner is not here. I told them I would present on their behalf. But this is a continuance on the Flat Fork PUD, really because we last saw this item in June of this year, and there was a commercial aspect to that PUD that they're trying to remove and work through. And so they're still working out that purchase agreement with that property owner. They've been having neighborhood meetings with the surrounding neighborhoods, and so everyone is up to date on their current proposal, but they're just requesting a third continuance at this time to really finalize that agreement with the property owner.
Thanks, Megan. So does it seem like they are progressing the matter?
It does seem like they're making progress. I think this one last month will give them additional time to get everything finalized.
Okay, thank you. I know it's not typical to have 3 continuances, but I think this is moving in the right direction. I would entertain a motion for a continuance.
So moved.
We have a motion by Rick, second by Bruce. All those in favor use the voting sign aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
The motion carries. Thank you. Next agenda item is case number TA-23-3, Gray Eagle Golf Course. It's a consideration of a text amendment to the Sandstone Gray Eagle PUD to allow for a barrier netting system and restaurant use on parcel 9 with an address of 12500 Brooks School Road. And we have Megan once again for the staff.
Yes, thank you. And this all came before you last month, so I'm going to just give you a brief overview of the petition again, just to bring everyone up to speed. This is for a text amendment to the Gray Eagle Sandstone PUD, and the property in question is parcel 9 of that PUD, and that's highlighted here on the corner of Brooks School and 126th Street. Here's the zoning map that just shows the entire PUD area for reference. And the text amendment is really to allow for a barrier netting system as a accessory structure and the additional use of a restaurant as a proposed use in the new clubhouse building. This area is identified as parks and open space within the Fishers 2040 future land use map. And so this does include golf courses. So this proposed development does align with the Fishers 2040 plan. I wanted to show this concept plan for reference on the entire proposed development, future development for this area. So what we're talking about today, bring my mouse over, is this new golf club building and then the barrier netting system that would surround this area. But this development to the south is still planned to move forward. They're going through the permitting process right now. That's been previously developed, but it just helps tell the picture of the entire development for this site moving forward. And so, as I just mentioned, here's those 2 components that we're discussing tonight, the new restaurant and then the barrier netting system. Here are the proposed elevations for the new clubhouse. This was formally approved by the PUD committee, and it would include 2 levels of hitting bays into the golf course area. Here's the proposed barrier netting system. So at the max height, it would be 160 feet. But then as it gets closer to the residential areas, it does reduce the height of that netting system. And at the closest residential structure, the maximum height would be 50 feet. And that's shown in this bottom graphic here. Here's the exhibit that was included in the Topgolf PUD. Again, just for reference, since this is the closest accessory structure that we have to what's being proposed, and that barrier netting system was approved at 170 feet tall. Knowing that this is close to residential areas, the petitioner has included a lighting plan and a photometric plan, so that's shown here, and each one of these small dots represents a foot candle level. And so the maximum foot candle level at any residential property line is no greater than 0.2 foot candles, and this is lower than what the UDO would allow, which is 0.5. We have received 2 public comments total since hearing this in June and then it being continued a month. So we heard one from Julie Putman, who's not supportive. She's a resident in Greystone. And then we did hear from John Manning, who is supportive. He's a resident of Gray Eagle. We received another public comment. That resident just didn't include an address. So I didn't include it on this slide because we do require an address to know if they're a resident of Fishers, but I did include it in the Plan Commission agenda for your guys' reference. We are recommending a favorable recommendation tonight. If this does get a favorable recommendation, it'll go to City Council this month for final adoption. So that concludes staff's report, and I'm gonna now turn it over to Stephanie Trushin to give the petitioner's overview.
Thanks, Megan.
Stephanie Trushin with Creek DeVault. How do I get back to that slide that you had, just the golf course and then the apartments grayed out? Because I think that gives a really good depiction of what specifically we're talking about. There's been a bit of confusion about the involvement of the apartments, which are a separate project that's already been approved, as Megan said. So, you know, as I mentioned tonight, we're just talking about the text amendment to allow for this netting system to protect the residential that's being developed in the area, and then to also allow the restaurant use. Last month, the residents of Greystone had mentioned that they were still trying to work on setting up a meeting with the Gray Eagle development team. That meeting did happen on August 23rd. A lot was discussed during that meeting. 24 residents attended. It was largely a positive meeting. Residents expressed, you know, questions about how high would the poles be, what could be done about buffering. You know, and I want to reiterate that the poles and netting are only intended to be as tall as needed to protect passersby on 126th Street and then to protect the residential properties that surround the golf course. This is not intended to be something that's over and above what is necessary. It's strictly, you know, a development team decision on what experts recommend for this area. As far as buffering and lighting is concerned, the development team has discussed with individual residents who would be most impacted, people closest to the facility, on different things that they might need as far as landscaping or interior window coverings to help minimize any light pollution that would be coming in. Again, as Megan said, the new lighting plan really does a good job of addressing those concerns right out of the gate, but development team is open to working with individual residents to address specific concerns. And I do want to reiterate that we're not changing any of the uses that were kind of initially contemplated in the 2021 you know, zoning of the preserve at Gray Eagle, which is to the south there. And we're also not changing anything that was originally contemplated with the original PUD that was approved in the 90s. This is strictly to allow for a safer driving range, modernized facility, and then the restaurant use, which we think is going to be a really great addition to this part of Fishers, benefiting not just the residents that live nearby, but the whole community in this area. So I'll open it up to questions from the Plan Commission. We also have the development team here if there's anything specific that I can't speak to.
Thank you. Board members, any questions for the petitioner? Thank you. At this time, I will open the public hearing. If there's anyone from the public who would like to address this matter, please approach the podium and provide us with your name and your address and the issue that you would like to address. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. Discussion from board members? None? Well,
Motion to approve.
we have a motion to approve the petition. We have a second. Kay, roll call, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries. Thank you. The next matter is new business, RDC resolution, District South allocation area.
All right, so this is, doesn't require a public hearing, but it is a procedural step in the designation of this area within the redevelopment commission. And so we've seen items like this in the past. This is a portion of the downtown area. So this area that's highlighted in blue shows the proposed allocation area. This is south of South Street. So this building here is the parking garage. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't see my mouse. This building up here is the parking garage for First Internet Bank. So this is the property just south of there. You may have seen recently a proposed village development, which is a mixed-use development made up of apartments and retail space and office space in this area. And so the role of Plan Commission tonight is just to confirm that what's shown in the Fishers 2040 plan aligns with the proposed development of this area. And so the image that you see under Fishers 2040, that is from our future land use map. And so that identifies this area as regional mixed use. And I know this text is hard to see here, but some of the uses that are called out are attached residential, public spaces, pedestrian-friendly environments. The Nickel Plate Trail is really adjacent to this property, and so it's going to be a big focus on making sure that any residents or businesses are well connected to that Nickel Plate Trail. And so we really do feel like this aligns with the Fishers 2040 plan.
Thanks. Thanks, Megan. Bill, go ahead.
Yeah, that one. So the two gaps along South Street there.
Mhm.
Explain that to me.
So those are under, so all of these properties are under private ownership. So the developer had to acquire land. So they went out and they purchased these properties in order to make this development occur. And those two properties did not sell as a part of this development.
Two existing homes that.
Correct.
Mr. Archer on the, next to the rail line, and then, I don't know who that other person is, but, so they're not part of the RDC area, which means
Correct.
they're just in whatever zoning they were before?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Thanks, Megan. I would entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by Selena and a second by Bill. Roll call, please, Kay.
Aye.
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 Aye. The motion carries. Thank you. Staff communications, do we have any? Okay. Well, I will take a presidential privilege here today. I believe this is Megan's last day with us, at least for the Plan Commission. And Megan, I'll let my colleagues share as well, but it's been an honor to serve with you. And I did a little research here. I believe you started with Fishers as a planner back in 2017. So I don't like to do math publicly, but that's about 8 years, right? 6 years. See, I don't do it publicly. Yeah, I went to IU, not Purdue. But you were promoted to director in 2021, but then also prior to that, you were the assistant director. So it's been an honor. I'll tell you, behind the scenes, Megan has been just working tirelessly for the benefit of everyone in Fishers. And your knowledge of land use is impeccable, but even above that, your temperament and your style just allows things to move smoothly. I do know behind the scenes you guys are working effortlessly, just behind the scenes passionately working like that duck that's on a pond. Looks like it's very peaceful, but you're behind the scenes paddling underneath. So I appreciate all the work that you've done for the city of Fishers and wish you the best in your new endeavors. I think your new locale will be closer to my office, so I may see you more during Monday through Friday as we do now. So thanks for everything that you've done for the city of Fishers. Yeah.
And you guys have been wonderful to work with. I always say, we get paid to do what we're doing as public servants, but you guys are great public servants as volunteers. So it really has been an honor.
Thank you. Thanks, Megan. Well, summary of council actions. Do we have any? Okay, well, great. I will entertain a motion to adjourn. We are adjourned.